Hey, boys and girls, we're at page 29 in the Unit 8 packet. And what we're going to do today is we're going to practice finding the distance between 2 points, this time without the coordinate plane. We're going to try a couple together, then I'm going to have you try some on your own, and then we're going to do a couple other word problems, and that'll be it. So it says, same subtract, opposites attract, or sometimes we say opposites add. It said, how can this rhyme? Well, it's not a rhyme. It's actually more of a saying. How can this saying help you remember whether to add or subtract when finding the distance between 2 points? Okay. So what it means is if they're in the same quadrant, the 2 points are in the same quadrant, we'll subtract to find the difference. If they're in opposites, we'll add. Now, how can you tell? Well, if you're looking at two numbers and they're both negative, they're in the same quadrant. One's negative, one's positive. Those are kind of like opposites. One's negative, one positive. That's when you'll add. So again, we're going to try a couple together, and then I'm going to have you try some on your own. So again, the method we're going to use today is method 2. It's using the absolute value because we don't have the coordinate plane in front of us. We're not going to graph the points and put them on the graph. So what we'll do is we'll stack these up. That's the first step. You stack up the points. And then you cross off the one that they have in common, or that's the same. So you look vertically and you think, okay, well, -3, those are the same. Those are gone. Okay, and then we're going to find the distance between 3 and -5. Well, those are in opposite quadrants. One's positive, one's negative. So opposites add. So we're going to add the absolute values. Absolute value of 3 plus the absolute value of -5. All right, let's find that. Well, the absolute value of 3 is 3, plus the absolute value of -5 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. So that's the distance between them. Now, another way you can think about it is like you have a bird 3 feet above, fish 5 feet below. The bird is 3 feet from sea level. The fish is 5 feet from sea level in the opposite direction. So that means you'd add up their distance from sea level, or distance to 0, to get 8. All right, let's try one more together. Let's stack them. -3, 4, -3, 9. Well, I can already tell they're in the same quadrant because it's a negative, positive, negative, positive. So I'm thinking we're probably going to subtract to find the distance. All right, let's look at these. -3 is the same as -3. We'll cross those off. Then we got 4, 9. So again, these are in the same quadrant because they're both positive, and we're going to subtract, meaning that we'll have to put the 9 first when we subtract because we want a positive number as our answer because we're talking about distance. So it's going to be absolute value of 9 minus the absolute value of 4, which is 9 minus 4, which is 5. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to use the same method once you try the 6 below. So we'll do these 6 here, okay? So I want you to pause it, try these 6. You can unpause it when you're done. Also, when you're done, the answers to these 6 will be on in the assignment on Google Classroom. You can check your work against mine, but I'd ask you to try them on your own first because that will help you learn them better. All right, so pause the video, try those 6, unpause it when you're done, and we'll move on to the last couple problems. And we're back. So you tried these should be done. You can check the answer page to see if you were right. Now we're going to try these 2 on the back. Okay. This first one on page 30 says, Sarah and Jamal were learning partners in math class and were working independently. They each started at the point -2, 5 and moved 3 units vertically in the plane. Each student arrived at a different endpoint. How is this possible? Explain and list the 2 endpoints. right, the first thing what we could do is we can put this point here, negative 2, 5, on the coordinate plane. Negative 2, 5. So that means we'll start at 0, side to side, negative 2, up to 5. 1, 2. There's the point. So they started here and they moved 3 units vertically. Now vertically again means up and down. So I'm just going to write this down. You got x, you got y. X is side to side. V is the one that's up, or I'm sorry, y is the one that's up and down. So you start with this point, negative 2, 5. It's going to be the y coordinate that changes because when you go up and down, you're moving along the y-axis. Okay? So we're not moving side to side at all. So these points are both going to have negative 2 in them. Because again, you're not moving side to side. It says you're moving 3 units vertically up and down. So if we're at this point here, if we move up 3, 1, 2, 3, that's 1 point you can get to. Maybe we'll call this one S for Sarah. But if you're moving vertically, you can also move down. Vertically doesn't always mean up. It means up and down. So if we start at this point and move 3 down, 1, 2, 3, that might be Jamal. You can see there's 2 different points they could have landed on. So maybe we'll say Sarah could have be negative 2, 8, which makes sense because if you add 3 to 5, you get 8. And then Jamal would be negative 2, 2, which makes sense because if you subtract 3 from 5, you get 2. So this might be Jamal's point. So how is this possible? So we listed the 2 endpoints. We might say this is possible because moving vertically means moving up or down. So I think a lot of people associate vertical with up, but could be up or down. So that's why they could have gotten to 2 different points starting at negative 2, 5. All right, let's try this last one here. It says the length of a line segment is 13 units. One endpoint of the line segment is negative 3, 7. Find 4 points that could be the other endpoints. Okay, well, this one's a little tricky. So negative 3, 7. So that means we'll go over 3, up 7. 2, 6, 7. There it is. That's the end point there. I'm going to put that end point or that point right here. So we're trying to make 4 other points that could also make line segments that are 13 units from this point. Okay, so the reason why we can make 4 is because we can go in 4 different directions. We can go side to side or up and down. That's where the point is found. All right, so if you start at this point here, we're going to find a point that's 13 away. It's to find a line segment that has 13 units. So we'll go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There it is. So we'll call this point F because it's the first point. Okay? So with point F, if I think about this point, negative 3, 7, we went down 13. And point F that we wound up with would be 1, 2, 3, negative 3. So the X stayed the same because we didn't move side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 6. Makes sense that they're both negative. Those are in the third quadrant. Okay, so that's one of the points. We went down 13, and we got this point here. The side-to-side variable didn't change, but the up and down one did. All right, well, let's start back up here. Let's go to the right, because it looks like if we go to the right, we'll be able to find another point that's 13 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right at the edge. Right at the edge here. That's going to be S. Maybe S for the second point. Okay, so this time, excuse me, we went to the right 13. And so that means the X value would have changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we went from -3, we moved 13 to the right, we got to 10. And the Y value, though, because we didn't go up or down, that's going to stay the same. So 10, 7 is going to be the other point. Now here's the problem. We don't have enough room on the graph to go up 13 and to go to the left 13. So we'll have to figure those out without actually showing that on the graph. If you could figure out the other two on your own, that'd be awesome. But if you want to do this with me, we'll go 13 up and we'll go 13 to the left. So if we go 13 up, which number is going to change? The first one's side to side, the second one's up and down. So it's going to be this number. So 7 is what we're focusing on. If we go up 13, we're going to increase by 13. So 7 plus 13 would be 20. So X stays the same. We didn't move side to side. But then the Y becomes 20. Now the last point is if we go to the left 13. Now if we go to the left 13, we're decreasing by 13. So if we're going to side, again, that's the X value of the ordered pair. That's going to change. That's going to get more negative by 13. We're going to decrease by 13. So instead of -3, we're going to go to the left 13. We're going to wind up with something more negative, -16. And then what's going to happen is Y stays the same because you're not moving up or down. You're just going side to side. All right, those are the 4 points. Those are kind of tricky. But once you kind of get the pattern, it becomes a little easier. All right, at this point, again, if you didn't check your answers for the ones you did in the previous page, make sure to do so. If you have any questions, let me know. And if not, have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.